everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Auntie Sonia. Tonight, I have an awesome, handsome helper with me, and his name is
Kaden Lovett.
Kaden Lovett is
and
how
I
old?
am 8.
He's 8 years old. So tonight he's going to help me to make some chicken, barbecue chicken, and we're going to actually use one of my own spice blend, which is a dry rub. It's our all-purpose dry rub from Auntie Sonia's Spice World, and he's going to help me with that this evening to make some barbecue chicken for his mommy and his grandma. So let's get started cooking. The first thing that we're going to do is we're actually also going to make some salmon, and we're going to use our spicy power pack to make the salmon. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to prepare some seasonings for the salmon, because the chicken really doesn't need a lot of seasoning except for the dry rub that we'll use on it. So right now, Kaden, what I'm going to have you do is I want you to look what I'm doing, because he's going to help me to cut up some onions, and these onions will be used on the salmon. So see how I have my finger here? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut away from yourself, all right?
Okay.
So I need you to come in here. See how I had my hand? Wait a minute, right there. Make sure you watch your finger, because we don't want to, finger may taste delicious with onions, but we don't want to do fingers and onions tonight, all right?
Okay.
All right, go ahead and keep cutting.
Ow.
Good job. Watch your finger. Go ahead, press it down. There we go. All right, so let me finish it up. So you had an opportunity to cut them. I know your hands are clean because we washed them. So pick those up and put them in that red bowl for me. And that's how you would chop the onions that we're going to use later on the salmon. So that's just a quick way of preparing the onions, all righty?
Okay.
So we're done with the onions for right now. And we have some peppers. And you would cut the peppers the same way as you did with the onions. So basically, what I'm doing is we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut it like that. And then you're going to press it down like that. So let's have you try that. Now at home, if you want to get child-sized knives, we're just using what we have. He's home, so we're just using the utensils that are home. And if, as an adult, you're working with an 8-year-old, you want to make sure that you monitor. Some 8-year-olds are a little bit more mature than others. And we're going to pick that up and put it right in there. Just go ahead and pick it up. All right, so we're going to set these to the side for right now. We're going to set the peppers and the onions to the side, and now we're going to work on the chicken. So previous to starting the video, we had the chicken washed, and we ended up drying, taking out most of the moisture out of the chicken. And now I'm going to have Kaden to help me with putting the seasoning on. So the first thing that we're going to do is we'll get one piece of the chicken. Go ahead and pick up one piece. And we're going to get a ½ teaspoon of the dry rub, and you're going to sprinkle it on the chicken. And then you're going to use your hand to rub it on. You're going to turn it over. And we're going to put another. So you're going to use a whole teaspoon. Rub it in. Make sure that
Smells delicious.
Doesn't it? And you're going to make sure all of the seasonings, if you would zoom in on the seasoning, you can see the minced onions and all of the differences. And I'll put in the comment section all of the ingredients that are in our dry rub, our all-purpose dry rub. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just continue. I'll sprinkle the season and Kaden will do the rubbing in. Go ahead, Kaden, rub that one in. Get it in there good. Flip it over. Rub it in. And as you rub it in, just move it over to the side. And while we're doing this, we're going to later on add a little bit of, rub it in, we're going to add a little bit of our browning. And once we add the brown, to give it a little bit of color, then as it cooks, then we'll add some barbecue sauce on it later on. And that is all you will need for this chicken here. So go ahead and flip it over. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and season the rest of it. And then once we're done seasoning it, we'll come back to you so that you can see the full effect of it being seasoned.
It already looks delicious when it's out cooked.
Rub that in. And now we have this last piece. You're going to make sure you love on the chicken right here. This last piece here, give it some good love. Right here, just rub it in nice and all over, okay? So each piece you would use about a teaspoon of seasoning on it. And then what we'll do is we're going to take, this is browning. Now you still get, now you're going to get your hand. We'll shift this over just a little bit. So I'm putting a teaspoon of browning on the plate.
Oh, it looks very black, like it's food coloring.
Yeah, and it's sort of what it does. So smart, I love it. So basically, this right here is gonna go on the chicken. The dry rub is already on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, you're gonna dip your finger like I did, not too much, and you're gonna take it and like it's like you're giving it a little anointing. See how it gives it a little more color on it? And you're gonna flip it over. And you do the same thing because you don't want to take off the dry rub that's on it. Alright, so this one piece right here. So you take the next piece and do what I said to do. Good job. Make sure you're going to get color all over it, okay?
Okay.
So it's like you're painting the chicken. You're giving it an ability to get a little bit of color. There we go. Flip it on the other side. Grab another piece. So let me jump in on this side here so I can help you, because I'm making sure that we get the color on and still keep our dry rub on there. You smell how delicious it's starting to smell?
Yes.
Because that seasoning is starting to marinate inside of the chicken. You're doing an awesome job. Oh my goodness, Grandma and Mommy are going to be so proud of you. I know when they taste this, woo-wee, they're going to lick their fingers.
It's going to be so good that they're going to want to slap me.
What? Say it again. See, Kaden can come cook with me anytime. He is already like a master chef. I'm loving this. Following directions. So parents, if you have an 8-year-old and you feel like, oh, they may not be able, you still got more to do, baby. They may not follow directions. Have them assist you in the kitchen, because look at this. This is an 8-year-old who's following directions. He's being careful. He's listening to what he has to do and doing it well. So get that last little bit and put it on this one. You ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
What are we going to do next, Auntie Sonia?
What we're going to do next is we're going to add some cooking oil to our skillet, where we're going to end up putting the chicken later on. So here's how I'm measuring it. We're going to put 3 tablespoons of cooking oil. So you just go ahead and pour it in. So go ahead and hold that. Hold it over the skillet because you don't want it to spill on the ground. And I'm going to pour it, hold it over the skillet. I'm going to pour it in. Hold it so it catches it, and you pour it out. Come over here, hold it. Hold it so you can catch it. And you put it in there. And then, because it's a non-stick skillet, we don't want to use a metal in there. So we're just going to use this to because we don't want a lot of oil. The chicken already has, see these little pieces on the chicken? The chicken has fat pockets. We cut off most of the fat off of it, but it still has little fat pockets on there, and it will produce its own oil. So we don't want to use a lot of oil in there because we don't want to make it too greasy, right? So we're going to spread the 3 tablespoons that we did, and now we have the skillet on 350. So, and if you were using your oven, you would put the oven on 350 as well, and you could bake it in the oven as well, but we're using the skillet tonight. So here's what we're going to do. I'll demonstrate and then you follow, all right?
Yes.
So the oil, here's how I'm going to test if it's hot. Take a little piece, and you hear that sound that it's making? See that? It's telling me that it's hot. All right, can you see in the skillet?
Yes.
Okay. So watch what I do. I go low, low, low in the skillet, and I put it in. Hear that? So go ahead, pick one up. You're not going to drop it in there. You're going to put it in there gently. Good job. And we're going to put all of them in there, as many as it can fit. Right now. You might get a little something on your hand, but it's not going to kill you.
Oh, what is that stuff?
That's a little bit of oil, so be careful. You can't drop it in there. All right, this one I need you to be gentle. I need you to put it in there nice and gentle. That's 2 pieces you have. Now, watch me. Here's how I'm putting it in. Watch how I'm doing it. So I come near the pot, and I just lay it in there.
You don't throw those little picks?
Because I'm not dropping it in there.
Oh,
all right, so let's try it again.
Okay, I want to go in this.
You come in, and you just hold on to the chicken. You're going to watch me. Just follow my hand, and you just eat.
Oh!
Did it burn you again, or because your hand was closed? Did it burn? I apologize for that. Well, parents, make sure that you're careful now so that the baby doesn't burn himself, all right? So you make sure you want to even help them with it if they're not tall enough to reach into the skillet, all right? So I'll put the rest of it in there.
Okay.
It won't kill you. We'll just be careful. Put that back in. So what we're doing is we're going to make sure that each side of the chicken gets a little brown, and we'll brown it for about 5 minutes each. And then, you know, we'll check to see if it has like a nice color. Hasn't gotten there yet. So while that's cooking, we're going to go ahead and work on the salmon. Can you grab the salmon out of the fridge for me?
Let's see here.
Right up at the top with the red cover on it. Perfect. So we are going to season our salmon while our chicken is being cooked.
And Auntie Sonia.
Yes, sir.
Are we making this French salmon?
No, we're actually going to make salmon with one of my other seasonings that I created called the Spicy Power Pack. And this one has turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, garlic, and all of these spices are good and healthy for you. And that's what we're going to put the onions and the peppers on. All right? So just go ahead and hang on for just a minute. Let me rinse this off because we're going to reuse this to get the salmon on it. All right, it's getting nice and brown on one side, so go ahead. We're going to gently turn it. See that nice coloring it's getting? That popped on you? Oh man. You don't want you getting burnt up tonight. So we got to turn it really gently. Don't get so close if it's gonna pop. So you gotta turn it gently. Watch me. Watch me. See, did it pop on you? No. Because you have to do it nice and gentle. It's not popping, it won't pop you. And we're gonna let this side get its 5 minutes, alright?
Okay.
Alrighty, so let's go and work on our salmon while that's cooking. What did we do before with the browning? We dipped our finger.
Dip our fingers.
Yes. And we gave it a nice little
rub.
Nice little rub. So this one, because the salmon, you want to do it not too rough. Not too rough.
Because it breaks?
Because it's such a soft meat. And we don't want it breaking apart. And then you flip it on the other side. And we're doing this before we add our spicy power pack to it. So, nice and gently. All right. And then we're going to go ahead.
You can wash your hands.
You wash your hands. And for this one, I'll sprinkle some and you rub it. We don't need a lot because this one is spicy. Alright, so go ahead and rub it on. Are you singing to the salmon now? So once you rub it on, we're going to flip it over. Flip it on the other side. Beautiful. Rub that on. And you need to rub these ones too. And we're using probably about a half a teaspoon for each piece of salmon. So flip that one over. Oops, that's all right. Look at that, you used your problem-solving skills. See, it broke and you decided to turn it the other way so it wouldn't break all the way. Good job, I like that. I like that you're using your problem-solving skills. Got a little bit too much on that one. We're going to rub it in. Let's work a little faster. That one's good. You got to flip that one over. Rub it in and flip it over. Nice job. I love the way you're maneuvering the salmon because it's a little bit
slippy.
Yeah, and you're doing a good job doing that. Beautiful. Let's get our hands washed and then we're going to set our skillet.
Can I do this?
Yeah. Catching all the pieces because we don't want it to catch.
Look, it's turning into fish.
It is fish. We did
I'm talking about that little leg.
I'm going to add one more spoonful. Tablespoonful. So while our salmon browns on one side, we're going to go ahead and check our chicken because we're going to need to add, be careful, we're going to need to add, let it go. We're going to need to add, see, come on over. We're going to add our barbecue sauce to it. All right?
Okay.
And then we're
Can
going
I
to
flip that one?
Hmm?
Can I flip it?
You gotta be gentle. Come on. Nice and gentle. Turn it over. There you go. So let's go ahead. You love that smell? The bottle. So here we go. You're going to make sure each piece of chicken gets a little barbecue sauce.
Oh, it won't pop if you put barbecue on it?
It'll still pop, but you have to be careful. Come on over on this side. Kaden, we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin adding our onions. And this is one whole onion.
Can I do it?
Yep, you can. If you can see underneath, you'll see that our salmon is brown. And then we'll add our peppers. Go ahead and add the peppers. Good job. You're doing a fabulous job. Get some over there. Gotta make sure we use up all of our seasoning. Did it catch or you thought it was going to catch? It caught you?
His hand might have brushed the
Your
side.
hand brushed on the side here? Yeah, those can get hot. And now we're going to cover it up and let it steam. And then we'll check on it. Come over here and check your hand. Right, ladies and gentlemen, our chicken is done. Come on over here, Kaden. I see that our beautiful barbecue chicken, we had some that we left off the barbecue sauce because some people don't like barbecue sauce and others do. So those that don't will have the ones that don't have the sauce on it. And what we're going to do right now, Kaden, is we're going to make a plate for Mom.
Okay.
And the plate for Grandma. So come on over here. Let me move this. Just put it right here. So what we'll do is we'll put, and we'll make you a plate too, right? So that you can taste your lovely cooking. But first we'll serve Mom and Grandma first, okay? What we did...
Thought it was for Mother's Day or something?
Well, not really Mother's Day. You're just making them dinner. So what we're doing right now is we're going to go ahead and make the plate. Earlier on, I made some rice. So we're going to serve this with white rice. Let me get the other plate.
Whose is that?
That's for Grandma because she doesn't like the barbecue sauce. And you don't have to film me over here, but I'll go ahead and I'll put the rice on the plate. So my trusty rice cooker went ahead and prepared our rice beforehand. Now, I want you to go ask Mom if she wants gravy on her chicken, Kaden.
Would you like some gravy on the chicken?
Yes.
Yes, please.
So we'll go ahead and we'll get a little bit of gravy and we'll put it right on the chicken. And this will be Mom's plate. So you gotta hold it carefully so you can serve Mom.
Dinner is served.
Go grab your plate, Kaden. Your plate now, Kaden.
Yes.
Would you like salmon as well?
But no jalapenos.
It's not jalapenos, it's just green
I like
peppers.
green peppers.
Alright, so let's give you a little bit of salmon so you can taste your handiwork. Green peppers are good for you now. You don't have to eat it. So let's go ahead and zoom in on Caden's plate. And right here. Let's get him a fork so he can go ahead and have a taste of his awesome creation.
Kaden, here's a fork.
Here's a fork. Go ahead and take your chicken and your rice and tell the people on camera. How is it?
Delicious.
It's delicious. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining Kaden and I as we prepared our dry rubbed chicken with barbecue sauce and our spicy power pack salmon. And look for our seasonings. They're coming soon. As you can see, this will be left with Kaden so that he can prepare other meals for his family while we're gone. So look for us on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Love you and thank you for joining us. Take care.